Hi, Prabhat.
Hey, hi Krishan.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic.
So,
Glad you joined a couple of minutes early. All right, I see that Sumiti is also joined. Hi, Sumiti.
yes, thanks for your availability, Krishan. Actually, me and Sumiti just discussing that how will we support these things. So we can share our screen. Can we share?
Please go ahead. So on your screen, Sumiti and Prabhat, both of you see a computer icon at the bottom. You see four icons: audio, video, computer, right? Okay, I see your screen now. So Sumiti and Prabhat, here's how it works. Whichever part of the screen you would like to maximize, you can double click and play in this play in the yeah, presenter mode, and it'll show up, number one. And the only ones that you will get to see or hear is us, right?
Yeah.
So the way I'm picturing this is that firstly, I will basically get started and do both of your introduction. I snooped into your LinkedIn profile, so I have some of your information. So I'll
Oh, that's
basically
good.
introduce you, and basically you guys do a 40-minute talk. Towards the end, there's going to be Q&A. I will collect Q&A along the way if there are any questions, and I'll pass it on to you so you can answer. Okay.
Yep.
Just one pro tip though is that if you are presenting and talking, then you can have your video on. If you're not presenting and talking, just like I will be switching off my video and audio as soon as I'm done introducing you guys and pass it on to you. That way they can only see the speaker at the time. If both of you want to have your video on simultaneously, that's super cool as well. So I'll leave it to
So
you.
we will do this simultaneously. Once the means if I will talking, my video will be on, or Sumiti will talking, Sumiti video will on. But I will share my screen. Means only one screen we would prefer to share.
Makes it seamless. Yeah, good idea.
And one more thing, Krishna, there could be a possibility that we will be switching, as in we are switching between slides. One slide will be with him, and so we'll keep on switching on, switching off video.
No, you don't need to do that. So here's the
Okay.
thing: both of you, as long as you play it in the presenter mode, which is the slideshow mode, and there should be no problem. Both of your video will appear as small thumbnails at the bottom. So
Which is fine. Yeah.
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 So, and that should be cool. I'll be turning off my video as soon as I'm done introducing you guys.
Sure.
Perfect. All right. Glad to have you, and nice to meet you guys.
Thanks.
So
Same
I'm
here.
glad. Yeah, so we still have a minute to go, and I see that we have 12 people who've logged into our session already. They may be trickling off the previous one into this, so let's give it maybe a minute or so after 7:15, and then we can get started, right? So, all right, so we should give it probably till like 7:17 to get us started, right?
Yeah, that
Right.
would be better.
All
So
right.
I have set up already everything. So Krishna, our target is like means 8:15. So we will cover up to 8, then question answer and all this.
That sounds like a perfect plan. So that'll give people enough time for getting themselves a coffee or a snack after the session and the next one. So it's a good idea.
Yeah. And it's
Thank you.
already evening, so evening a snacks would be.
Yeah. Thank you for your generosity with all of us. That's cool. All right. So for everybody who's just joining in, I see we have 27 people. So guys, I know you guys may have just finished off your previous session and must be joining this one. So we're just going to give it one more minute and we will start at 7:17. So please bear with us. And we have both our speakers who are ready to roll. So give it a minute and we will get started. Thank you. So Prabhat, I saw your profile. You work out of Bengaluru, is it?
Yeah, I'm Bengaluru. And
Right.
Sumiti is also in Bengaluru. Actually, we are in the different organization.
Okay.
I'm in ANZ. Sumiti is in Visa.
Right. Okay. This is super cool. Yeah, I know your work profiles because I've been on your LinkedIn, so I know that part. So cool. All right. So somebody's asking if they will get access. Okay. So yes, all sessions will be recorded. Okay. All right. So we are at 7:17 and we have about 38 participants already. So I think to respect their time, I think it may be a good idea for us to get started. So hello and welcome everybody to this session. And firstly, let me share with you the fact that I'm very excited to be here with you, along with both our speakers who are equally excited for this session on psychological safety, which is a key to success. Firstly, let me also share with you the structure of this 60-minute session and how we have planned the next hour or so. We have, to make it easy for all of us, we've divided this session into 3 parts. Part 1 will be speaker introduction. In this case, it will be speakers, which I will get to in just a minute. Part 2 will be the actual talk about psychological safety and a key to success. And both our speakers are super seasoned. They're going to share with you some of their real life experiences, which I know all of you are looking forward to. And part 3, it will be question and answers. So if you have any questions on this subject at all, please use the session chat that you see on the right side of the screen. I will be collecting questions along the way, and towards the fag end, Sumiti and Prabhat will be happy to answer those. And just about halfway into the session, or slightly later, you will see the poll section, and the poll section will the poll for this session will be active halfway through the session. So anytime you feel like you have something to share, please go ahead and rate the session. And we'll really appreciate your feedback. And I think that can be used for our future sessions. So without further ado, I will get started with our first part of the session, which is speaker introduction. So I will start with Sumiti, going with ladies first. So Sumiti, as I know, is a strategic agile leader. She's a Scrum leader, Scrum coach, also has a solid QA muscle, a quality assurance muscle. She's also an avid blogger with fantastic experience in working with distributed teams across different industries. Her specialization, though, is financial services. That's the area that she specializes in. She's been a part of several agile transformations and re-platforming teams altogether. How cool is that, right? So that's about Sumiti. And just like we have festive offers, you sign up for one, you get one free. We also have, and we get 2 speakers in just one time slot. That's super cool. We also have Prabhat, who's joined us. Prabhat is an enterprise agile coach focused on agile transformation and digital agile for several organizations. Prabhat has led several organizations on their DevOps journey, which is the buzzword and also something that organizations are embracing and can't get enough of. So he's helped organizations in their continuous integration and continuous delivery journey and rolled out those plans for multiple development teams in the organization. He also takes pride in being an agile coach and a change agent. So without further ado, I will pass it on to Prabhat and Sumiti. The stage is yours. Over to you.
Thanks, Krishna. And thanks for a surprise, I can say, like an introduction. It's really cool. So I'm going to share my screen and stay talking to the Sumiti.
So before starting with psychological safety is, I am going to share one link with you. This is a Jamboard link. If you can start writing in, have you ever failed in your organization? And if yes, how your organization helped you to come out of that failure. So this link is there. We can also view it. So if you can start typing in, and then we can jumpstart.
So I'm going to share that Jamboard over here. I hope everyone is able to look this. Yep. Yeah, I'm looking that many of the guys is joined. Yeah, please write. So here is that in the left side of your screen, and the fourth number, a sticky note is here, and how to use like empathy, and click enter or save. Directly it will come over here. Click outside, you have one sticky notes. So guys, you can write, yes, being empathetic. Just imagine that, did you get any help from leadership? No problem, I'm just replacing here and there. No help, oh wow. No problem, we will see this also. Minimal help. And I'm looking, one is that, yes, mostly by discussing we have come out of situation. Wow, very nice. The discussion is one of the very good, powerful tool. My senior took care of it, and none of my seniors knew anything about it. Oh, okay. Brainstorming, another powerful tool. Something is removing impediments. One-on-one feedback of shadow process with agile coach, brainstorm. Motivate, and if it is not work, have a tough talk gradually. Tough talk. Frequent feedback loops, another good things. The feedback loop should be, but in the positive way, not in the negative way. So another 1 minute, we will see, then move ahead. Sumit, is it okay for 1 minute?
Yeah, sure.
I'm looking that there is a lack of trust on the floor. People hold back rather than asking for help when they are stuck or fail. Listening to the issue, motivate, and if it doesn't work, have a tough talk gradually. That's really nice. Another 30 seconds if you guys have something. So I think that's okay. So it's a mix things we have seen. So coming ahead, like we are going to get to know that what happened in the very beginning when I ask and when Sumiti asked you guys to write something, how did you get help from leadership when there is an urgency, there is a need, when you failed, type of things. So psychological safety is a belief, and it's actually trust that no one will punished or humiliated by speaking up with ideas, questions, concern, mistakes. It's a limited parameter, but we can add by adding some of the risk, by discussing with something regarding the innovations, no one will going to punish. It would be not and say it won't be environment of like humiliated. It's not an environment that someone will ask you, someone will pull your leg. What are you guys doing? It's not in place where senior will do something and senior will always do and junior is looking that, oh, what these guys are doing, I'm not able to understand. No, any senior is pulling your hand to make it up. It's not like that. So whole psychological safety is the belief, trust that one will not be punished and they will increase the environment up to the next level. And I can give the one very quick example. I remember when I joined very early, in like 10 and 12 years before, one of my organizations, I'm not going to take the name of that organization, but yeah, the way the manager was discussing to me, on that time, I was just like a junior, means mid of that people. I'm just a senior software engineer. And I was in shock how a manager could speak like that. He was saying like that, Mr. Prabhat, what you did, where is the black and white program and what you did? The tone was like that. Once I got a tone on this way, I was surprised. I was full worried and scared inside. I was not able to say anything. We are going to see the same thing. How will improve our culture? Sumiti.
So now when we know what psychological safety is, why do we actually care about psychological safety? Why do we need an organization to have a psychological safe environment? Let's think in a research department or an investigation department. How does it work? You have a lot of things which you need to research on, and not every research results in a fruitful results. How your organization, how your management help you in achieving the success, or if you do not achieve success, how they tackle the certain situation. That is what research is. While the list which we are going to show is not an exhaustive list, we have introduced, as in the main points which you should be in. So when I talk about research, think about a situation where you want to do certain innovation and that innovation did not lead to any fruitful result, but you ended up understanding a lot of technological things. Whether your organization taking it positively or negatively, that brings in the point of as in how they're treating you, if they are actually pushing you to have the results in place, or they are asking you to move forward and look for other options as well. Also, what kind of surroundings an organization is providing you. You must have heard about Me Too movement that has happened a couple of years back. The kind of social anxiety, social pressure people were in while speaking to anyone around. They were feared of being trolled on social media. While all these things cannot, while an organization cannot control social problems, they can control surroundings within the organization as well. While we are talking about research and surroundings, there is another factor which comes into picture is stress and anxiety. How anxiety and stress are related is, say you have always, your manager is always after you or pushing you for the results in a shorter duration than you can, which you know that is not possible. And you know that you are gonna fail. Whether you have all those lead to a point where people, if you do not provide that environment to organization or the team members, they probably would like to move on to certain more organizations where these kind of culture is more cultivated. That is why a psychological safe environment is very important, right? So while we are talking about psychological safe environment, I would like Prabhat to explain what exactly is the equation of having a psychological safe environment.
Yes. So thanks, Sumiti. So moving ahead, actually we have seen that there are the various reasons we are talking about the psychological safety nowadays. Now, what is the equation of the psychological safety? And it's a trending buzzword nowadays everywhere. We are talking about the psychological safety. Psychological safety is equal to, we can just image ourselves is like leader plus culture plus individuals, and into the denominator is self-orientation. When we are talking about the leaders, how a leader should be. So before coming to the leaders, culture, individual, you are looking at whatever into the nominator side, the including the whole things will embrace the psychological safety in any organization. It will increase the psychological safety. But if there is anything into the self-orientation, it will decrease the psychological safety. If the self-orientation will increase, and what is the self-orientation? The self-orientation might be ego, our desire, our individual desire. If like more than that organization desire, that will another create a problem. If we have a more ego, again it will create a problem. So coming to the leader, a leader should be like any lead by example. Nowadays, another buzzword into the market is the leader. A leader should be lead by example. Leader should be at next level. When we are talking about the culture that should embrace the psychological safety. An individual, who is individual? We, all employee of any organization, are individual. So we will see the one by one coming to leader. Smithy. Smithy, not hearing you.
Prabhat, I think
Network problem. So yeah, I should continue. So when we are talking about the leader, so a leader should be encourage creativity. There are the various of the parameter a leader should be, but I'm not going to the earliest one, but it should encourage creativity. And when we are saying about the creativity, it invite a unique perspective of team member. A team member can we do the different things in different style. Leadership or leaders should understand that. He should embrace that. Demonstrate listening. And it's not like that if someone is talking and no one is listening. It should be like leaders should communicate in a way and he demonstrate, he or she demonstrate how to do the listening with everyone within a team. Transparency and empowerment. A leadership should be more transparent and he should promote the empowerment. Be transparent in communication. The communication is not like the way of the communication. It's something like organizational communications, team communications, team culture, transparency. Another main behavior of a leadership nowadays should be challenge traditional ways of working. Now, whatever we are doing right now, as per the traditional ways of working, we generally working on the way in a traditional style where innovation doesn't matter. So it should be on that way. He or she should always treat the innovations and empathy. Understand empathy and not a sympathy. Empathy is something buzzword. The keyword is that we should understand the front person by putting our leg on their shoe. Understand team's emotions and guide through challenges. It's not like that command and control. It should be something like that servant and leadership. Avoid blame culture, and that's really necessary in every organization I have seen wherever I have worked. The blame game is one of the biggest challenges in every organization. A leader should avoid. I'm just looking now. We have seen the leaders. Then coming to the culture. What type of culture do you expect? It should be to embrace psychological safety. First of all, it's a guiding value behaviors. What is that? What is the value? What would be the value of an organization? It's something like that. Every organization have some different value, like trust, transparency, integrity, collaboration. These all are the something value a organization should be have in the prospects of culture. And culture won't be changed if we are not going through the sum of the specific behavior. If their organization without transparent, we can't expect anything. If the trust is not there, we can't expect a positive embrace change or positive innovative change. Focused skill building. Coming to the focus of skill building, when we are saying about the skill, a different level of a skill building, the next level of a skill building. It's not like that older ways of working. It's not like that the earliest technology. It's always focus a skill building up to the next level. Nowadays, can give you an example that everyone is thinking about the AI, machine learning. So we should focus the organization, the culture should be like that. We should have a hackathon. We should have an innovation style. We should promote innovation. We should promote the culture of hackathons. And one of the biggest challenge nowadays, as per the culture prospects also, and I'm not saying the small organization, it's something I have seen in the bigger organization, they're not promoting hackathons in a way it should be. Now, collective and individual responsibility. Now, the way of working is not like an SME, subject matter expert. The way of working, the culture should be the collaboration culture. And individuals should be the responsible. Every individual should understand their accountability and responsibility. It's not like command and control. It should like everyone is eager to do their job. And how will we do? We will do by doing the collaboration, by co-creation. And the co-creation is some of the another powerful tool to do the job, to create a culture in such a way that you are working with the help of everyone. It's not like only one person is working. It's a help of everyone. I'm just looking that if Sumiti is there, or because I'm not able to. Sumiti? Might be something network problem. So we will continue.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhat.
Sumiti. So yes, please.
So,
Individual.
Sure. So when we talked about leadership, we talked about what kind of culture we need to provide. There is something called individual resilience as well. Behavior can help to deal with certain situation. How you can say how nicely you can jump back and bounce back. And Tushar, I have written down your question. I will answer it at the end. So how individual resilience can help you grow in the organization. Yes, management need to provide you a certain environment, but at the same time, how we cope up with certain situation. For example, fear of management, fear of pressure of work, how we openly communicate with management as an individual, and how management is helping us out. And after fear, Prabhat, can you?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Is the emotional quotient. Emotional quotient is emotional quotient and intelligence quotient goes hand in hand. It is about how emotionally strong you are to, again, I would say, to bounce back to certain situation, how you are not just crying over on certain things and not getting impacted out of it. Yes, impact would be there, but how easily you can come out of it. Stress, we have talked about earlier as well. How to deal with stress, how to be resilient about it, and coming out of certain situation. And post stress, Prabhat.
Yeah.
Connection is a very big thing, which right now these days what is happening is, now when we have started working from home, we are working in isolation. We're not connecting with many people, and there are scenarios where an individual contributor, like I am an individual contributor in my organization, I do not have any team under me, but how connected I am to my management, and whether I'm speaking to them frequently or not, and whether my management is taking interest in getting connected to me. So this is something which you need to be very, what do you say? You need to be very thoughtful about, where you need to talk to people and connect with people, so that you don't fall into a category where you are just working in isolation and getting nowhere. So, and connection and mindset. When we talk about fear, EQ, stress, connection is all about mindset. What kind of mind frame you are, whether you have a positive or you have a negative mind frame. If you have a positive mind frame, you connect well, you talk to people clearly, and you come out of those situations. Now, when we have spoken about leadership, we have spoken about culture, we have spoken about individual resilience. These are more of human behavior. How organization and what steps we need to bring in to build a psychological safe environment to work. I would ask Prabhat to take this up.
So yeah, we have understand now. So till now we have to go through that everything's the behavior aspects, as Sumiti said. Now, as the coaching prospects, what will you guys do to build your organization as a psychological safe place to work? So again, I am giving some of the few prospects. You can add also later. Like build a speak up culture. And what is the speak up culture? The speak up culture is something like that. No one should stop him or herself due to some fear, due to some worry, due to some scared moment. He or she should okay to share anything, either whatever the risk, whatever the. Try to build up to that level. And it's as a coach, or if you're a scrum master, your responsibility how to build that speak up culture. Give them a proper environment. Ask them to share everything, whatever the coming into the mind. Then frame to work as learning problem, not execution. Right now, whatever we have seen, and even I have seen many on the organization, that every team member more focused toward to the execution. They just have anything and they will think like that, how to execute and how to complete the work. Rather than complete the work through the execution, why not understand the work? Understand in the proper way as a learning style, as a learning environment. Create an environment, create a organization in such a way that everyone should understand, learn something from the problem. And it will give the next level where everyone understand about this problem. It will give a ladder. It will give to the next step. That is another one main point. Acknowledge your own fallibility. Do not hesitate. If you are failed, accept it. Say in front of everyone, yes, Mr. ABC, I failed. I was trying these things and sorry, it didn't work. Do not do the blame. Do not search anyone. Don't search any head or any back to put your blame or put your fail to everyone's back. Just accept it. It's my problem and I have done. And yes, I'm failed. We'll try on the different way. And it's not only you. Organization will also support you. The organization is not going to say that, okay, you are failed means it's your last day. Organization will say, yep, it's a fail means you tried one attempt and you are failed. Okay, the next time you will do in the different way. The environment, the conditions should be on that such a way. Last one is that model of curiosity. And when I'm saying about the model of curiosity, it's a creativity. Everyone having something into their mind. Everyone understands something. Everyone have some different style. Ask them to move on that way. Create, encourage, embrace the environment in the curiosity model so that everyone can share their own innovation. Everyone can take part into the everything, and the things would be anything. Like if they need to have curiosity regarding to ask with the leadership, he or she can do very easily. Discussion among the team, discussion among everyone. So overall, till now, I have just posted here only 4 aspects into the coaching aspects, how to build your psychological safe work environment. But there are the various, it depends upon your organization. You understand very well. It's a something very high level. Now, coming to the next level, in which zone you are. Do we need any psychological safe? Where are we? What we need to do as a coach? How will we understand that the thing is going on a proper way or not? So we have one of the quadrant graph is something like high, low, and high. In the right hand, in the lower one and the lowest, like in horizontal, there is a motivation and accountability. And the vertical side, there is a psychological safety. So any organization is having 2 things. The working culture is like motivation and accountability and psychological safety. So if we are saying that low motivation, low psychological safe, if such type of things you are looking in any organization or your organization, it's a apathy zone. No one want to work. The person is not understanding why are they working. What is the need of this work? No one is taking care of the person, and employee is also not taking care of employee. When there is a high level of accountability but low level of psychological safety, that is another biggest problem. If many of the organizations where the command and control manager style, the culture is going on, and that is an anxiety zone, a stress zone, level of sadness, no satisfaction within the employee, no one want to do the continue the job. They even don't understand what are they doing. But sometimes when we are saying that what happened if we have the high level of the psychological safety, and that would be the comfort zone. Everyone is doing their work, but yes, the accountability is none. So no one is asking their accountability. That's also not good. You will feel a comfort, but you won't feel any learning. What happened if we have the high psychological safety and high accountability? And that actually place where we can say that our organizations should be in this place, learning zone. Everyone is learning from someone, and everyone is trying to learn in different way, different style. And there is a place where innovation happen. There is a place where we embrace hackathons. Where is a place generally Google worked, a big organization Facebook worked. Now coming to next. So there is an activity, Sumiti. I think there is something problem in network, Sumiti, on your end, might be. So what we are going to do, what would you do as first thing in your organization to embrace psychological safety? So think about this, what we understand, and I'm going to share one of the idea boards link with you guys.
Prabhat, I have already shared the ideas board link.
Okay, that's good. So guys, can you open the idea boards? Let me stop sharing right now. So everyone please open idea boards, and here is that one question. What would you do as a first thing in your organization to embrace psychological safety? Just imagine what we have done in the behavioral prospects and the coaching prospects. What do you think? What do you want to do or want to start as a first step? Can you guys please share something? And we will see another. And I'm not sure if idea board is something like, let me share the screen first, and I can let you know how to write into the idea board. Just click to that. Here is the idea boards. This green button right side where my mouse is hovering. Click on that and you can write anything. Yes, that's good. So engage people, encourage openness, guide the leadership on how agile system work. Fine. Speak openly. That's good. Create an environment where everyone feels safe. Be transparent. That's
You can
good.
also give a thumbs up in case you also feel that same thing should happen in your organization.
I can give the be transparent. My organization is supporting the transparency. Help them to achieve goals. That's really good one. Encourage to come up with solutions of a problem statement rather than giving solution empowerment. Yep. All the time, giving the solution is not a solution. Encourage to speak up. If you want to start in psychological safety, to be frank, start a session or start works toward to encourage a speak up culture. That's really good. A Scrum has transparency. And if we are following a Scrum in such a way, we are up to the next level of psychological safety, sure, or first step of psychological safety. Less ego. And that is another thing where we have seen, I have said like that, self-orientation, less ego among people, and sense of accountability, ownership. And ownership is really good point. So when we are saying about the listen, we should be always the active listener. Oh, thank you. Hire Sumiti and Parvat to coach the company. Thanks whoever wrote. And build trust. If you want to start something, build the trust. Another 1 minute, then we will come to the question answer and the last. Sell the problem you're noticing and how it affects the team. Then solicit solutions. Yeah, that's really nice point. Be empathetic. And I'm saying if everyone is writing about the be empathetic or empathy, just understand the meaning of be empathy or empathetic, everything. All are same. Please do not proceed further as just sympathy is empathy. Empathy is something different, and that's another very big and powerful tool to build the organization, create safe environment. And the safe environment is many of the things will come under this. Phone a friend, coach, lifeline, yep. Address the elephant in the room. That's another good point. But yes, when you are addressing the elephant in the room, we take the extra cautious on these things. Sometimes it creates another level of ego. But yep, no doubt it's a good point. Listen, ideas, suggestion, and critics. But I'm curious, no one is writing about the innovation or hackathons. You can start on that way also. Remove a small impediments to gain trust. Yes. So gain trust is like quick wins. Do something in a smaller steps. It's not necessary in a day everything will change. Anonymous survey. Yep, that's good. And anonymous surveys many organizations support is like Psychological Safety Index, ENPS score, Pulse survey, Gemba walks by leaders. That's another good thing. Gemba walks means leaders would walk and just ask, just support, not only ask. And healthy competition. So yes, coming ahead, the next is that question and answer. So stop sharing and coming to any question.
Couple of questions in the chat
Yes.
window as well. I will take the first one, and the scenario was
Yes,
text.
please.
The first one was Rekha. What if individual does not have an issue? Does have an issue? This was, I believe, when we were talking about psychological safety in the beginning. So Rekha, if person really have an issue, he should speak up. If your management is actually not supporting and you feel that your manager is or your leader is not supporting, you should speak up. And it works. Trust me, it works. It has worked for me in past, and it does work. You just need to be you should have the backup ready with you, as in you should have the details in which situation that person is not helping you out, and is it something that is entire team wise, because there are certain situations where it happens that only one person has the issue but other person does not have issue. So we need to understand as well, is it something on our end or it is actually the management? But yes, you should speak up and you should stand for that. Prabhat, do you want to add anything?
No, that's fine. That's really good, Sumiti. You added almost all the things. So that's really good. Yep, and that will work. I would like to say specifically the Tushar question. So Tushar, I think so. Do I need to answer that questions? Like if you will, let me share again my screen, and I am sharing specifically for your questions. Where are you right? Here. So according to you, you have given the psychological safety high level. You are into the comfort zone. Here is the comfort zone. So if I'm sharing these things and your team is specifically on this zone only, understand as a coach or as a scrum master, if you are there on that team, understand what do you need to improve. Accountability, and how will you improve the accountability? It depends upon the organization culture to culture. So if everything is into the comfort zone, only the psychological safety is high, it won't be work. Comfort zone never will work on that way. Might be the people want to work over there. Maybe possible you will see the people in pantry, in cafeteria, and up to the last 3 months, and they want to be made delivery. I am with you. But one of the question is that why are you waiting for the next 3 months for the delivery and all these things? It should be come in the very first, in another 1 month or another sprint. So think about on the prospect, start working to the learning zone rather than only into the comfort zone. And I'm looking that you also wrote something on the second part is that we had
just to add on.
You want to, yep, Sumiti.
Yeah, so when we start giving a lot of freedom to team members, it is good to have freedom, but at the same time, accountability has to be there. You just said that how will be the sense of accountability be embedded. When we say there are sprint goals, most of the organizations are working in Scrum structure. You will start seeing only within two scrums, as in 2 sprints, whether the person is actually achieving the goals which were given to him or not. That is when a question should be asked. that is how accountability creeps in. Is it something that he doesn't want to work, or was there any problem because of which he was not able to work on those certain things? He need to, when you will start asking these probing questions to the person who you are giving a lot of freedom, you will start getting the answers as well. We have been in these situations. I believe whosoever has worked as a team leader or a manager must have been in these situations where you always have one person who comes late to office and does not complete his work on time, but still getting away from that. That is where we should have a kind of an environment where you treat everyone equally. If you're treating one person as a favorite person, then probably it will not work. Then that is not psychological safe environment. That is, as Prabhat said, that is not at all a quadrant where
Learning
you should, learning zone.
And I'm looking another, Sumiti, like Tushar is also mentioned something more on that questions. B had hard work with A, but A had his own notions of how to work and was not willing. Again, it's what I understand, Tushar. Let you correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a depends upon the coaching scenario. How are you coaching to that prospect, that particular guys, understand them and let him understand about the psychological safety, organization culture, organization behavior, and the leadership way of the style. So coming down, I have seen one of the very good question, I can say like that. Really, that's a good question. Encouraging anonymous service opposite to psychological safety is my understanding correct. It is because people don't want to say something openly. I'm okay with you, Shiva, but I can give you one of the good example, and it happened with me in my organizations. I was doing one of the psychological safety session and giving the session after that coaching specifically for the psychological safety and working onto the culture level. So I just used to do the anonymous survey, and I got the same result as you are saying, that everyone was general result. Team is chit chatting with everyone. Team is helping together. Leader is helping to team, and the team is asking directly question with the leaders. Leader is always coming to team, but when I discuss with the same thing with the leaders just said me, no, it's not the way. They are just mentioning the general things. Now, what will you do? I have done the same scenario. Then again, I did one of the different session using the moving motivator with the different style and whole and soul. We got a many of the action item. Those who are interested in this session, you can ping me offline also, because we don't have much time to describe on that. But yep, what you have written, we have an example I have done with that, and it really worked well by using the moving motivator, and you will get a good of many of the actions, and that will be really good, and that will be really helpful, and it was helpful for me also, and I have done that. So
there is one more question from Neha, which says how to build trust. So
yes, Sumiti, you please.
Building trust does not happen in one day. It's a process. So I can give you an example. It's something that happened to me. So I worked in 2 different teams in my current organization. So there was this manager who was not helping me out, and I was getting into a situation where I was ready to quit. But then somehow things worked for me. I went for another internal move. I got promoted, and now the manager that I'm working with is really understanding, and that has not happened on day one. It's been almost a year I'm working with him, and this trust has been built in 1 year. I can go up to him and ask any kind of question that I want to, and I can really rely on him on my future development as well. So, as I said, trust cannot be built on one day. You need to give space to your team members, at the same time bring in accountability, help them to achieve their growth path as well. So that is how you build trust.
And yes, that's really good, Sumiti, specifically on the trust part. And I'm looking one of the another questions I just got. One is that what is moving motivator? Yep, that's really so. Moving motivator is actually a small tool. I can say the collections of 10 cards. And when we are saying about the management 3.0, there is a collections of game. So it's a type of game. and they have the collections of one of the 10 cards. They have some 10 different motivations line over there. Like they will have status, freedom, power, honor, mystery, order, acceptance, goal, curiosity. So the combination of 10 cards will once together, and we need to play according to that. It's like game of the moving motivator. Sumiti, would you like to say that? Would you like to take that one? What will be the first step on building the trust process?
Okay. That works differently for each. So a person who is not very proactive, who does not speak very much in an open culture, for that person, probably you can have a one-on-one, understand his perspective, why that person is not very outgoing person, why he does not speak to other people. Do understand what is the fear that is going behind, and gradually help that person to grow. At the same time, you can see that there are people who are very outspoken. They can speak and talk about everything with their managers. They can talk about cricket. They can talk about food, drinks, everything. That is another way of dealing with building a trust, where you can, speak about everything, try to understand their family. If not family, that will become too personal, but understand their perspective. What are their growth points in an informal way as well. So not only always have one-on-ones as a formal one-on-ones, have informal one-on-ones as well, where you will get to know team member better.
Yeah, that's really good. And I'm looking another 2 minutes for the question. So Chandra is asking something. Psychological safety is something driven, enabled within an organization. That's really good. In the current scenario where we have multi-vendor partners coming together, working as a team, who takes such accountability in building psychological safety and trust. So first of all, I would like to say specifically this questions is that psychological safety is the two prospects. One is that behavior changes. Another is the culture change. When we are saying about that behavior, we have seen that how leadership behave, how the nature of the leadership should be, how the culture should be, and how individuals should be. So start with the small things. If you have your own team, in that team where the multiple vendor is coming, start within your team. Start as a smaller steps, and start with team, discuss with the leadership, then come to the culture, and culture always will come into the last. So that's not a one-day task. Again, I'm saying changing the culture is not a one-day task. It will take some time, and you have to work upon from the initial steps. And who will come under the initial step? Start with your team. Start with the speak up culture, one of the very initial, very beginning part. Is it okay, Chandra? So coming something more. And Neha.
From Neha, yeah, this is, I think, continuing on relationship only. Yeah, what if the team is working for 2 years and still team members don't open up during retrospective? Neha, retrospective is not the only place where people open up. Retrospective is more from work front, how Scrum is doing, how Sprint is doing. When we talk about psychological safety, we do not talk about retrospective. We are talking about fostering a culture where people can grow. Retrospective is just a part of it. It is more to do with agile ways of working, and making people speak up in retrospective is always dicey. Recently, I had a retrospective with my team. This is Azura developer tool where you can have anonymous feedback as well, but not even a single person was speaking up. Okay.
I'm just adding something, Sumiti, over here. So guys who is having the specifically question onto the retrospective, why not try the different ways of retrospective? Why are you stuck with asking only 3 questions? Just do visual metaphor, use innovation game, use something dice system, use something to build innovation over there in the retrospective, and ask the question on that prospects. So again, due to the time limit, I can't describe the whole the things, how to play with the different retrospective that will really work. But yeah, we can do the different style. Jay, it's really tough to, it's another only 10 minutes and even another 2 minutes only I have. So tough to say about the different methods, but you guys can reach us in our LinkedIn profile and we can give the answer how we can do the different retrospective.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. So just I'm sharing one last thing is that our LinkedIn profile, And if you want, you can add us and you can ask any type of questions regarding to psychological safety, regarding coaching, regarding life coaching, or regarding retrospective or innovation gap, whatever. So Prabhat, my number is there, LinkedIn profile is there, and Sumiti's LinkedIn profile is also there. I hope everyone has been. I think it's the right time to stop share now. Yes. So thanks everyone.
All right, so thanks, Prabhat and Sumiti. I think you guys did a fantastic job talking about psychological safety. I think I thought this is certainly not a subject that, as you rightly said, not a subject that we can master in a 1 hour session. But I think I definitely did take away the fact that I really liked the quadrant that you guys shared, which said accountability on one on one axis and psychological safety on the other. Even if people might be able to figure out that something is not right, but I think this quadrant can help them understand where the problem is, and I think that
Yes.
itself is like half the problem solved. So I think thank you very much. I think that's a great start for anybody who's looking for identifying where the problem might be in the organization. So fantastic session, great answers to the questions as well. And I think I appreciate the openness with which you guys shared your LinkedIn profiles. You are willing to answer questions later. Fantastic. That's a really living the collaborative culture.
One thing I'd like to say thanks to Amy Adamson, and I'd like to give the respect to the Amy Adamson, whatever that we have said specifically that quadrant and that prospects and the definition of psychological safety we have taken from her. And she is one of the biggest innovator of the psychological safety. Right now, she is in the Howard University. So we also use that Amy Adamson's.
Awesome.
And that's really work.
All right, Amy shares with you, you share with us. So it looks like the whole.
It's a co-creation.
Right. So the world of agile is going to benefit from this. So this is hopefully better workplaces because of understanding psychological safety better. So without further ado, thanks to all the participants for making this very interactive with all your questions, participating on the idea board, on the mural links, what have you. Fantastic. So kudos to your participation and energy. Prabhat and Sumiti, can't thank you enough for carving out the time to do the session. It was a pleasure connecting, and hopefully we will connect again with our audience on another conference. So thank you, and have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Bye now.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thanks, Krishna. Bye.